Hey everybody, welcome back. Thanks for tuning in again. This time I'm going to just show you the latest additions to the Jodrell servers. There's been a few changes and I've not done one of these videos for a while, so I thought I'd just run through it. The new kind of layout and the new functionality. So let me sort of start from the top. Slightly different design of this here. The rest of it's fairly the same. You pop your call sign or your name you want to be known as in here. If you don't, it will just add a approximate location based on your IP address. What I've now done is taken IP addresses out, so people can't see everybody's IP address, and we just have this location instead, which might be right, it might be wrong. It's actually saying that I'm currently in London, which is not right. So that's, you can see how good it is. And obviously it tells you who's on, how many people are online at the moment. The main addition to this top part here is the frequency adjustment bit. The tuning dial especially, that's taken me ages to get that working properly, and quite pleased that that's been sorted now. It's quite a useful sort of addition, and also let me just go to a different mode. Here we are. Yeah, there we go. What it does basically is it allows you to fine tune the frequency on somebody. So I've not got any audio on at the moment, but I can show you.
80 km/h.
There we go. So also what you can do is so that's the fine tune button. You can click the round button here, and that will just round it up to the nearest 1 kilohertz, I guess. It's not related to this here. It's just this one. So there we go. So that's gone to 192. Once you round it up, that's when this comes into play, because you can then press the up and down buttons and you'll go up by the selection that's here. And the drop down is this. So we can change that to say 10, press the up and down, and it will go up by 10 kilohertz instead, etc. So that's quite useful little addition. It's especially good if you're on, say, the CB FM channels. You got it set to 10 kilohertz and you just use it to go up and down the channels. So if I zoom in and show you, by pressing the up and down, it's going up by each channel and then down. So it's quite a useful feature for that. If you say randomly stick the tuning dial, not dial, tuning position here, for instance, and then you went up, it would still go up by 10 kilohertz, but of course you're in the wrong place really, so you've got to really press one of those and then do it, and get that centered or on the sort of zero first, and before that will work properly. So yeah, just a few little additions for like quickly adjusting things or fine tuning if you don't want to drag and drop or try and get this directly on somebody's signal and things like that. Speaking of the waterfall, obviously we've got the filter size at the bottom. You can drag these directly if you want to kind of shrink the filter on somebody and bring them out of the noise, as it were. You can roll your mouse wheel to zoom in and out to kind of get closer in on signals, and just drag it left and right to kind of fine tune where you want it to be. These are all kind of memories, so you can do presets, if you like, so you can press on those and it will take you to that frequency and mode is the term I'm looking for. Obviously you can manually set that up here with USB or LSB, etc. Just change your mode, change your band. So we're on CB, we can go to 20 meters. It'll pre-select USB because 20 meters is associated with USB. And then if we go to say 80 meters, it will select LSB because that's associated with lower sideband. So that's how that works. If you click on the others, that will take you to basically to the other server, which I've already got open over here actually. So that's just the 2m77s, etc. airband server. So, and that is just a reverse. So basically the green fonted tabs here are actually taking you back to the Jodrell 1 server. So that's how that works. Okay. Yep, so let's just work our way down some of these tabs now and show you what they've got, what cool features some of the tabs have got in them. Some of them are pretty good. The first one that we're on right now is quite good. We can adjust the speakers left and right. I'm not sure if you'll hear that in the recording, but if I do that, that goes left speaker in my ear anyway, and that's right speaker on both. So that's fairly cool. Obviously, you can pop on and off the squelch here. You've got a notch filter, an automatic notch filter. Adjust the volume up and down. Kind of got it defaulted to that, but by all means go higher or lower. And this is an audio buffer. This effectively adds a delay in seconds to the received audio. So if you're having problems, for instance, with stuttering or jittery kind of connection, and people are a bit sort of jerky as they're talking, a little bit like my display's doing now because I've got the recording software on and it's struggling with all these tabs open. That is basically to help with that. So if you add audio buffer delay in there, it'll buffer the audio up and make it less jittery, so it's a bit smoother. So that's the idea behind this. These are quick click tabs, so you can go to my donate page and buy me a beer if you want. My website, YouTube channel, that's a quick way of going to the other server, but obviously you could do it this way as well. The top one, most people's complaint when they visit one of these web SDRs is they have got no audio. The quickest thing to do is click this button, Start Audio, and that should, on Chrome especially, this one is specifically designed really for Chrome. It works best on Chrome. So if you're not on Chrome when you're watching this, then my advice is use Chrome for the WebSDR because that's how it's kind of been made for. But what this button does is effectively what I'll show you here. It goes up, not secure, site settings, sound. It's basically making that say allow because it will be defaulted to automatic and then you won't hear any sound most probably. So that needs to be allow. What you should do is just go in there and set that permanently and then it'll always be associated with that for this website. You just refresh the page and that's it, job done. Then whenever you start the page, let me show you this by refreshing, the sound will just come on automatically like that. Okay, that's the idea behind it. That's what that button does, that tab there, that quick sort of start. Also, you need that allow audio set in order for this functionality to work, and I'll show you what this is. There is not a single web SDR in the world, I don't think, that's got this yet. I think mine's the only one that has, and it's taken me 6 months to a year to get this to work. But what it does is it effectively is an audio visualizer. Now you can get these quite a lot with audio, that you kind of play through a recording. For instance, I've actually got it on the recording tab as well, but it's very hard to get it live on a browser. So getting that functionality working was the hardest bit, but it's really cool when it does work. So let me show you.
So I'm working for the aviation. Roger.
Oh, it's gone quiet now. So it basically shows you the audio. So so that tone you can hear is currently at 1125, that peak tone there. So not only is it kind of showing you an audio trace, if you like, but it's actually corresponding to the frequencies in hertz that it's receiving. And you can further prove this by, if I show you again, by changing the filter width.
Thank you. Hello.
So you see how we're on a filter here of 2.7 kilohertz, which is roughly around here, look. So if I shrink that filter down, let's just drop him down to 2.3. So it's come down. If I even go to CW, for instance, see how the filter width is reduced significantly. So it corresponds to the actual frequencies that you're listening to, which is really cool. So that's really good. And obviously you can look at the maximum frequency that's being displayed, and you can use this basic graph at the bottom here to work out roughly what the frequency is of the peaks that you're hearing. But it just serves as a cool additional sort of visual thing to have on. which I quite like. Also on here, you can click on this and it will give you the S-meter plot. You can hide that with this checkbox. To stop this audio visualizer, excuse me, you have to keep pressing the stop button until it stops here. So there you go, that's off now. How it works is on the recording system. So basically it's recording what it's hearing over and over and over, and then just adding it to this visualizer, and it records for about 5 seconds, then adds that to the visualizer. So there's an ever so slight delay on what you're hearing and what you're seeing on the visualizer, but it's only slight. It's really is working quite well. So again, if you get any issues with it, just stop it. You know, if you're struggling or your bandwidth struggling with it. So that's that. Excuse me. Waterfall tab. Basic waterfall changes, so you can zoom in and out, change the contrast if you want, change the size of it, although that's kind of in progress at the moment because it messes with this as well, so you've got to roll the mouse wheel to get that back. But say you wanted it a much bigger waterfall display, let's just reset it. There we go. So yeah, that's what happens. You can change it to spectrum, back to waterfall. You can make it so it's all bands, so it shows you everything, all of the bands that are available on this, so you can just quickly scroll through them all. And at the very bottom will be this again, or back to one band again. Turn on and off the labels, which are excuse me a second. Yeah, the labels are these here, so you can turn these on and off. Display can go off completely if you want. That's for better bandwidth. DSP, this just adds a few little signal enhancements. The digital signal processing at various levels, and another notch filter here. And then the audio boost just boosts the kind of high frequency stuff, audio elements, if you like, of a signal. These three here are quick clicks, if you like, for signal enhancement. So they all reduce the filter and add a bit of DSP. So if you're on FM, for instance, it will narrow the filter right down, add a little bit of DSP, and the idea is it will bring out some weaker signals. So they're for weaker signals, okay. Going to the filter tab, that's how you can pre-select filter width. We're in CW at the moment, so let's go back to USB, and then obviously that's changed now. We can select 2.3 kilohertz, 2.9, whatever. The normal is around 2.9 or 2.7. You can then also adjust the width of it manually by either dragging these bits here. So you can sort of narrow a signal down. Let me show you on him. It's typical, isn't it? They always stop when you want to try something like this. Find someone else. See, so you can sort of adjust that filter manually like that, or you can use these. These do the same thing, but you might as well just drag it, hadn't you? And you can pre-select it, so obviously that you can see that how the changes are affecting the layout. So that's that filter. Memories, you can add your own. Basically, it'll just save whatever frequency and mode you're currently listening to as a memory. So let's click save, and then you can add a title in here, and then it will click enter, and it should add that title to your new tab. And then this is saved in a cookie, so cookies are useful sometimes. And then whenever you come back to the website, your individual memories will be still stored in that website on your browser. So you'll have them, so you can go back to them, which is really cool. You can add loads in here, go to them, delete them, whatever. Okay, so that's how that works. Recording function is very similar to what I was showing with this actually. Let's unmute so we've got something to record. Right, so if I stop that now and then mute the live recording, that saves me going back to the tab if I've got this one here. I can now either download that recording if I want to, and that will just download it to your PC, tablet, whatever. Or I can, over on this part, I can actually play it straight through here with another visualizer. So there you go, and that's obviously we've got another visualizer loaded in there too. So that's a quick way of sort of testing your own signal. Perhaps if you can hear yourself on the WebSDR, you can use this functionality to record it, listen to it immediately, and then compare things. So it's quite a useful little feature. I mean, recording, all WebSDRs do that, but don't think anybody's got a visualizer. I quite like the idea of the visualizer. Again, the visualizers corresponds to the frequencies as well. So I've not actually loaded in what they are, but the nature of a visualizer is it converts it to kind of digital, and then extracts the frequencies, and then it can individually display them. So there we go. So that's recording. Info page shows you all the information about the WebSDR, credits, where they're due for other people that have helped me with various bits and bobs. So I've actually credited them here. There's been various other guys that have contributed to some cool sort of software functionality and things like that. So that's good. And then various updates that have gone on over the years with this that I've tried to add in there. So yeah, info page, page layout, cool bits here. You can change the theme. So let's do that. This will change the background and the font colors. There's various different themes, as you can see. I quite like this one. Jodrell theme is my drone shot of the Jodrell Bank dish. Space theme, I mean, it is called Jodrell One Server, so I thought I'd better put these things in. The world theme, so these are cool little extra bits you can have on. This one's a work in progress because I've concentrated more on the display that we've got here, but this is basically it's the front of a Yaesu FTDX 101, which I'm trying to make into a WebSDR. So here we go. So it's quite a cool concept. Now I've mastered how you do the dial, I can probably change this, because at the moment you click it and then change it this way. But what I'm going to do is, now I've got this dial working, I can add that dial to this and make that work in a dial. But it's something I've not really spent any time on because I've been concentrating on this one instead. So we'll leave it for now. Dark theme, change the italics. The original GUI is the one from Roma SDR, who originally gave me permission to use it, and then I've just modified it and eventually changed it into this layout. But I've kept it there as another option. This is that. So that's how we started out, and that's pretty cool as well. And you can turn on full screen, which is good, so it gets rid of all your background bits, and then zoom it to the page, and then that looks really cool on its own then, and then change it to whatever theme you want. And that's a real nice display to have in the background, so I like that. Turn that off and then hit reset, and it will just go back to where it was. I'm pressing control and rolling the mouse wheel, by the way, to get the quickly get the screen the right size in the display, just for the best user experience. User tab, that tells you where everybody's listening to at the present time. Obviously we're getting a bit late in the day at the moment. It's nearly 10 past 11 at night, so there's not that many people on. There's not that many on this one anyway, to be honest. But if you click on them, it will take you to where they're at. So that guy's listening. It took me there now. That guy's listening to nothing. So yeah, and this one, it will take you to where they're going. So it's a quite fast way of sort of finding where everyone else is. So yeah, that's good. And a little visitor tab, 643,000 page views since August 2020. It's getting on there, isn't it? Some of them are me, I think, because I use it quite regularly. The chat function, pop in whatever you want to say, as long as it's not abuse and it's relevant, because I can just go in and delete whatever lines I don't like, or just reset the WebSDR and it will delete everything. But type in whatever you want and click submit, and there you go. You can see what such an awesome WebSDR, all these things that are in there. Really cool. That's the chat function. If you don't stick your name in here, it will just put that in there, as you can see. Logbook, it'll save if you type a call sign that you hear or whatever in here, and then any comments, and then click submit, it would automatically save the frequency that you were on and add it to this. If you press refresh, should add it to the bottom of this list then of all the other people, what other people have heard. And then there we go. So that's quite, sometimes I look through that and see what people have picked up on here, which I find quite fascinating. I mean, this, somebody's heard Japan, look, I mean, that's cool. So yeah, I like looking through this myself because I'm like, oh wow, my WebSDR's picked that up. So really good. So yeah, please keep adding to the logbook. I find it fascinating. CB codes is really good. I use this a lot because you're listening to CB 777. You hear somebody calling CQ with a random code and you think, well, where is that country? And this list tells you where they all are. And now what we've got is a way of searching. So let's guess with 43. Oh, there we go. I wouldn't have known that 43 was Australia, but there you go. Now you can quickly search and it will tell you what it is, which is a really cool function. I don't think I can search for words yet. Let's try it. Or can I? Oh yes, I can. I've forgotten I'd done that. Yeah, brilliant. There we go. You can actually type it in as well and it will tell you. Oh yeah, I'm better than I thought. Right, there you go. CB codes tab. That's cool. These are the other two servers I run. OpenWebRx server and a Kiwi SDR, which is Kiwi SDR is a 0 to 30 megs HF. That's running a Welbeck loop. And that's been loaned to me by a friend to test out and get working. And the OpenWebRx is just sat on another PC. That's good because OpenWebRx has better digital kind of decoding and FT8 functionality. So that's a cool one to go look at as well. The beacons page is really good. This is taken from V3SUN's site. This is from the IARU beacon kind of network. Let's go back up to 20 meters, find a beacon tab. There it is. That's the brings us onto the beacons. Now what it will do is, now we've clicked on this tab, it's automatically scrolling through the kind of world beacon list, which is happening. So so we're on 20 meters, so we're on 14.1, as you can see here and up there. So we're looking at this box here. So that's telling me what's transmitting now. And then all you do is if I unmute it, you can see whether you can hear it or not, basically. So we're not hearing that one. Actually, we're not actually on that, are we? California, we're not hearing. But anyway, so it scrolls through here. You can see on this one what is coming next because there's our 14.1. So next is ZL6B. There we go. Then after that, it's VK6. So this is the list kind of order that they run in. And then this is a quick way of looking at what's transmitting now. Okay. So we're not hearing anything down there. We're not hearing Australia. Oh, maybe we are. I heard South America earlier. Japan. So anyway, that's. I mean, you can sit and listen to this for ages and let it work its way through the different. There we go. We got that one. Siberia. There we go. We got him. And then this little map shows you where they are, which is really good. It's fascinating, isn't it? I can listen. I'm listening now. I should be talking to you guys and explaining things, and now I'm sat listening to this. The joys of WebSDR. Hey, right. Anyway, that's the beacons page. That's really cool. Thanks to V3SUN for that. Call sign page, another cool function. I love this one. I use this loads. This is a fast way of looking up a call sign rather than actually going to QRZ. It's in association with QRZ. They've helped me a lot with getting this working. Basically, you pop a call sign in here, click the quick lookup, and it will bring it up here. So here's me. Here's my QRZ page, effectively in mini form. And then what it does is it takes their grid square and automatically populates this, which is a kind of search box for Google. And then you just click convert, converts that into that long, and then it puts that on the map for you. So if I zoom back out, that's then centered on that locator square, so it shows you where it is on the map. So what a cool feature, eh? I'm really pleased they got all that working. It goes wrong if somebody doesn't have their QRZ page set right, or they've missed a bit of information out, or they haven't got a picture, or something like that, what this bottom functionality won't automatically work then, and this won't display properly. It will just, I've got a separate table that basically says they haven't input their details correctly in QRZ, and it will just give you a dump of what QRZ's return when I've done a request. So you can still see the information, but it's not in such a nice layout, and it won't automatically populate this, which is why we have a reset button, because if it does that, you can click reset and then you can type it in manually. So you can pop in whatever you want in there, click convert, and it will convert the locator to lat long and then still show it you on the map. So it actually is kind of two functions in one. You could just go to this and do a convert for a locator square, or you can look at somebody's call sign. So that's that. Cool, eh? XBU weather, that's my weather station on site. I'm not sure if it works this late at night. No, I didn't think it would. It would appear that for some reason, weather underground, which is where it's based on, doesn't work after a certain time of night. I think it might be 11 o'clock, which is really odd. So as you can see, it's not brought up the tab. And even if I go to a new window, it probably won't load. Oh, it has loaded. No. Yeah, there we go. So it's working there, but it's not working. It's not working as a kind of HTTP request. So they must block it somehow, so that people don't run it 24/7. I'm guessing, because when it works, in fact, this is the second version of this video because I did all of this chat earlier. You can laugh at this if you like. And I forgot to unmute the mic. So this is round two. Well, I can tell you on round one, this worked and gave me the weather information. But unfortunately, on round two, it's not working. So at least I've got microphone audio now, though. Anyway, that's my little weather station. I can also get this data on my watch, on my phone, and things like that. And it's literally sat on site on a little mast in the garden. The admin page is just really for me. That's not in use. Again, it says work in progress, but for adding bits and bobs in here, like I just thought, while I can, I'll add another tab in. Anyway, that is pretty much the functionality of the new design of Jodrell WebSDR. I hope you enjoy it. It's been a lot of work. Please let me know any comments or any suggestions or anything like that. Or any problems or issues you find that I can look into. There might be some things with the page layout, because I'm often this, for instance, I think I've got a problem with the waterfall display. If you click super zoom, it doesn't quite work properly, and I think it's because I've added this in and messed about with the layout and it's not quite sat right. So bits like that. But otherwise, yeah, enjoy, happy listening, and thanks for watching. Catch you all soon. Cheers.